I like Mason Mount. I hate Kai Havertz. I hate Kai Havertz. I love Mason Mount. This is a story that is constantly being shadowing these two players every single time they step the field. And the reason being is because people want them to be the finished article at a very early age. One's 23 in Kai Havertz and the other is 24. Yet people hold them to high standards of a Haaland, an Mbappe, a Kevin De Bruyne, a player that is creme de la creme, GOAT status. Today we are going to talk about this on the Kavkas View. We're going to break it down nice and simple. The Premier League stats for Kai Havertz and Mason Mount, their returns and whether it's good enough for Chelsea to where they want to go to. We're going to talk about their strengths and their weaknesses. We're going to break out the details because I'm sick and tired of it because a lot of people are using context to shoot their agenda. Today, I'm going to give you an unbiased view and then I'm going to give you my perspective. And then we will continue and have the answer finally. As you guys know, this is a very topical conversation, so I actually took the time to get you some good statistics, break it down in a nice, simple, concise manner for you to understand. But all I ask for is a massive favor from every single one of you. When international break comes, it's hard to find news, so we're going to have to be talking about impromptu, and this is where my creativity comes out. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it at times like this. Follow me on Instagram, it's in the pinned comment. We're going to have to start with a golden boy, and when I say golden boy, I mean Mason Mount, right? Mason Mount has come through the academy, and at Chelsea, we don't have many players that come through the academy and become regular. So whenever someone comes, we're very protective over them. This is the same with Callum Hudson-Odoi, the same was with Josh McEachran, the same is with John Terry. I dare someone to say something negative about John Terry, and Chelsea fans, 90% of them are going to be on your neck. They're going to be saying, how dare you talk about John Terry like that? He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So now when we look at Mason Mount, we need to break down his statistics and look at what he's been. Before we start, Mason Mount has played in the front three predominantly of his whole EPL career. Don't let anyone else fool you. He has consistently, under Lampard, played on the left-hand side or on the right-hand side of the front three. Under Tuchel, he has been in behind the strikers the whole time predominantly. One or two occasions, don't let that fool, okay? So he's played 111 games. In those 111 games, he started 96 of them. 96 starts. Very good. 8,500 minutes nearly racked up within the Premier League. That is an abnormal amount of minutes for a person that is 24 years old. It means he's seasoned. He has become a veteran of this team. He is a consistent starter. Let's look at his return. His return, 24 goals and 20 assists. Is that good enough for Chelsea at this moment in time to play in their front three? That is a question that a lot of people are scared to ask because of the protection this player receives. Mount is a very good player, and I've said this on numerous occasions. Mason Mount has a lot of key strengths, and let's look at them right now. His work rate. I hate going to that because a lot of people use it as a negative. It should be assumed. It's not though, because a lot of players don't have work rate. Number two, his versatility. He can play a lot of different positions to a very good standard. He can do a job as a winger. He can do a job as a 10. He can play as 8. Whether it's to a fantastic level where he can be world class, that is debatable, but he can play those different roles. More importantly, he's got a very can-do attitude. And I think managers will always go towards that. They will love that. They will lean on that because it's dependent. Mount most likely will get you a 6 out of 10 to an 8 than he is to drop a stinker or a world-class performance. He is Mr. Reliable. It's why players like Azpilicueta have had such long careers at the top level. When you're reliable, it's a great strength. It means the manager will trust you because if you misperform and you're a flip-flop player, what happens? The likelihood is the manager is going to get sacked at a club like Chelsea. And finally, Mount, the reason he's accumulated so many minutes, he doesn't get injured. He looks after his body fantastically. He's a model professional, and that tells you a lot about the player. The negatives in Mason Mount. Like I said, it's his versatility because he's played so many different positions in front of the front three, sometimes had to drop. He doesn't know how to play his actual position, which is he's too ill-disciplined to play the 8. He is goal hungry. He likes to get the credit. He likes to be on the end of things. He doesn't like to create. It's not in his nature. His nature is, I want to score the goal or I want to get the assist to make sure I'm in the final third to do so. He'll only pass when he needs to. Is that a bad thing? Yes, when you're primarily a midfielder who needs to be judged on his creativity in the final third, Mount can be coming across very selfish at times. Another issue I have with Mason Mount is the weight of his passing. He is not a great passer. He is a safe passer. He will never try the elaborate pass. He won't go for a high-risk volume pass. And that needs to change if he's going to be Chelsea's number 10. Because Chelsea's number 10 needs to be a creative phenomenon. It needs to be a top player. And the worrying aspect is, I don't see Mount trying to change that. Very safe, very quick to delegate responsibility just to get in the box and try to score a goal. And this really infuriates. His ability to go past the man, it's a bit average because he's not very explosive. He's just a good athlete. He's not a great athlete. That saying, he's a good player. And to have him in the squad is an asset. To have him as a starter is a little bit of a worrying, it's a different aspect. But people go saying he doesn't belong in the team, you're going too far. People saying he's a guaranteed nailed-on starter, you're going too far. He's in the middle. I think if Mount is one of your best players, you're a top 4 side. You're not going to win the league. Now let's get into Kai Havertz, because Kai Havertz is one that has been, honestly, a player that I love. Even from a young age, I think he's had some tremendous talent. And if we break down Kai's stats in the Premier League, the Premier League are simple. 62 games, he started 45 of them. In those 45, he's played 3,800 minutes nearly. Mount has played double the minutes that he has in 4 seasons compared to the 3. This tells me one thing. Kai Havertz is extremely misused because he doesn't get the consistency of running games. He doesn't get to build up the volume of repetitions as Mount does. So people are going to get onto him. 1 week you're playing, next week you're not. 1 week you're playing, next week you're not. You're getting subbed on the 60th minute, you're getting brought on the 75th minute. He's got 13 goals and 6 assists. Pathetic, yes, on the front of it. But when you actually look at it, 13 goals in 45 starts. Well, let's break that down. That's nearly a 1 in 3 rate. Not pathetic, but it's not great. It's average. It's very, very average. And a lot of people have an issue with it because he cost £75 million or £70 million, whatever it was. And my issue is, whilst he cost a lot, he's 23. You bought a 20-year-old. You're buying potential. So what is the issue when you're buying potential? His strengths. His strengths are his versatility. Once again, like Mount, he can play multiple positions. And he's got the X factor. A lot of people say, no, he doesn't. He does. He can do the flick passes. He can slide the ball through when needed. He can chip a goalkeeper when he's going through. He's technically very secure. And I think this is what people don't understand. He's not easy on the eye in the sense that he can drift past the player. He stays healthy most of the times. The only times he's been injured is when he got ill with the you-know-what. We're not going to call it that. And for me, I think the biggest issue with him is he's so good in multiple positions that managers are so confident in moving him around. Weakness is he's not fantastic in any position. He's not made one position his own. In my opinion, he's a false 9. But he'll get played right wing. He'll get played in the midfield side here and there. He'll get played left wing. He'll get played as a target man striker. I don't understand that. That's his weakness. The fact that there is no one ideal volume of position he's going to have to stick to and just get repetitions in. His finishing can be very inconsistent. He is a finesse finisher. Sometimes Kai let it really frustrating. On the other times, Kai holds on to the ball for too long. I'm being honest, can be very weak. Can get out-muscled due to his lanky profile. Needs to be a little bit stronger. Kai Havertz has not been a fantastic signing, but he's not been a terrible signing. And I think this is where people get it wrong. And this is where people will have one metric for Kai and another metric for Mason. And this is the problem. They'll say, Mason came through the youth academy. He is perfectly fine to stay. His performances aren't bad. Kai cost £75 million. Whilst I agree, money is important. Once you're a starter for Chelsea, surely there's a volume of level standard, a benchmark performance that you have to be reaching, regardless of your price. And for me, whilst I don't think either one of them has been terrible, I don't think either one of them have been great. They're both in the same boat. They're both tremendously inconsistent, and a lot of that has to do with their age. And we need to give them time. But at the same time, we need to acquire talent that gets the best out. We do. We need to get goal scorers around Kai if he's playing false 9. In midfield, we need to get a creator because Mount can't be that creator. We need to get a Cesc Fabregas type of player in this team, and trust me, they will improve. Whether they're bad players or good players, they have a lot of mitigating circumstances they can lean on, and that's the fact of the matter. Are they underperforming this season? Yes, they are. But in the next 5 games, if they start scoring, again, are a lot of people gonna shut up? Yes, they are. But this was the Kavkas View, guys. I hope you lot enjoyed this impromptu video. I was just sitting on my couch and I thought, you know what, let me make a video quickly. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. And in the comments below, would you start both of them and think Chelsea would win the league one day with both of them started? If they was in their current iteration right now. See you later. Bye.